It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of my favorite shows. Set in, well, Philadelphia, the series follows the gang, misfit friends Dennis, Dee, Charlie, Frank, and of course, Mac.
Everybody chill! It's cool now.
Together, the gang runs Paddy's Pub, an unsuccessful Irish bar in South Philadelphia. And while the show is both incredibly funny and very well written, I do think they made a mistake when it came to Mac's characterization. Specifically, his sexuality.
Well, Mac's gay.
I think the show's characterization of Mac as just gay was a mistake. One, I think it doesn't actually fit the narrative we see on the show. And two, I also think it oversimplifies his character and makes being gay just a cheap joke in and of itself.
Oh, I get it. Cute. You leave this pen here and people are supposed to think, wait, that looks like a dick.
Now, before we get into this, I need to give a disclaimer. I know some of you hate when I do this, and to be honest, I hate that we live in an age where I have to preface my thoughts before I give them. But this is the internet, where people are going to take what I'm about to say here out of context and judge me without even watching the video. But as pointless as this may be, I do feel the need to explain myself before we begin.
I can't change their mind. I won't change my mind, because I don't have to. Because I'm an American.
This video is going to talk about homosexuality, and to a lesser extent, transgender identity. And people are going to read into my thoughts on wider issues based on my small criticisms of a fictional television show. But I want to say up front that I have no problem with gay or trans people, either in real life or in the media. In fact, my favorite television couple of all time is Tobias Beecher and Chris Keller from Oz. Which is pretty messed up for a number of reasons, but we'll save that for another time. However, my love of Oz should tell you that I have absolutely no problem with hardcore guy-on-guy action.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Alright, back to the topic on hand. Ronald Mac McDonald, yes, that's seriously his name, is one of the members of the gang. The self-proclaimed bouncer and sheriff of Paddy's Pub, Mac is obsessed with being perceived as tough and a badass. Despite having never trained in it a day in his life, Mac claims to know karate and other forms of martial arts, though in reality, he's the most cowardly and ineffective fighter of the group.
Your head of security just choked himself out.
Mac is also a hardcore fundamentalist Catholic, believing in the strictest, most bleak interpretations of the Bible and the Church.
It should be terrifying. That's how you know God loves you, Charlie.
He often tries to insert his faith into situations where no one besides himself is interested. Ironically, despite this, Mac constantly does things that go against his faith, such as casual sex, excessive drinking, and the biggest one of all, of course, the fact that he's gay.
Well, I'm gay.
Yeah. No shit.
Oh, you guys knew this already?
That you were gay?
From the day we met.
Yeah.
Or is he? Well, I mean, he definitely is now. But let's take a look at how that evolution occurred and see if it may have been a misstep from the writers. The first hint we get that Mac is not totally straight comes from the episode Charlie Has Cancer. Mac flirts with a woman named Carmen, whom he later learns is trans. Initially upset over the fact that she has a penis, he ends up being interested in her after she compliments his physique.
No, I didn't. You lied to me. You don't work out? Please, I've seen you at the gym. You're ripped.
No, don't turn this around. Wait. Really? You think so?
And they continue to date, with Mac hoping to be the first one in her once she's had her surgery. This causes his friends to insinuate that Mac is gay because of his sexual activity with Carmen.
Yeah, no, he's right. That's different. Because this new guy, if I'm hearing correctly, he waited until she got her dick cut off before he banged her.
But that means...
Now, again, I feel the need to remind everyone that my opinions on a show are different than my opinions in real life. The question of whether dating a trans person in real life is straight or not is an issue I'm not going to touch. I'm just saying that on the show, the characters themselves make the assertion that Mac is gay because he's interested in Carmen. However, I disagree. I don't think Mac's attraction to Carmen has anything to do with his sexuality. Instead, I think it's all about his need for attention. Mac's biggest flaw is his desperate need for approval. This may have started as a result of his distant father, Luther, who never thought much of Mac and was away in prison for most of his life growing up.
Are you sure he wouldn't say, "Remind me who you are again"?
Oh, that was great. That was Luther.
My dad knows who I am. Hey, do the voice again, but this time say, "I love you, son."
Because of this, Mac grew up with a desperate need for attention and validation. He seeks it out through a number of different ways, including his ideals of masculinity, his religion, and in the case of Carmen, flattery. When she compliments his muscles, Mac gets the validation he's desperate for, which is why he dates Carmen despite obviously being bothered by her dick.
And sometimes, just sometimes, I bump up against it, and I just can't handle that.
Really? Because you seem like you can handle anything. I mean, with that body.
What? Yeah, I mean, physically, sure. I mean, I guess I can handle pretty much any situation. I mean, I do work out, so.
You sure do.
I think the idea that Mac is so insecure that he gets with someone he isn't interested in solely to stroke his ego, a much funnier idea than just, haha, he's gay, which is what the character became for me as the series went on. Instead of making fun of the fact that someone is gay, the joke should instead be focused on Mac's character flaws, the same way it is for the other characters. After all, Mac continues to show interest in women throughout the show. He bangs Dennis and Dee's mom and becomes clingy to her when she loses interest in him, again a sign of his need for approval. He also wants to see the nude photos of the woman who is pretending to be Dylan Toback, and bangs Margaret McPoyle to get information during the trial.
Mac kicked her out of the bathroom so he could make sweet love to Margaret in private.
I heard you gave quite a performance, Macwell.
The next time the issue of Gay Mac comes up is in the episode Mac's banging the waitress. In the episode, through a series of misunderstandings, Charlie and Dennis come to believe that Mac is in love with them, and that his whole badass persona is an attempt to impress them.
Do you still get the feeling he wants to bang us?
Oh, yeah,
That's
definitely.
what this is all about, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But again, this was just a comedic misunderstanding. And after all, pretty much every character on the show has had the occasional gay joke thrown their way.
And some of the stuff you've been doing with this mannequin here, that's like, to teach me a lesson, or?
Yeah.
Did I see you bang that thing? All right, you know what, let's...
In these cases, it's treated as just a joke, and there's no further implication that the character is gay. But with Mac, what started out as a joke became the reality of the show. We also get another small hint in the episode The Nightman Cometh, when Mac has an erection during his rape scene with Dennis.
Give me that leg, boy.
No.
Dude, do you have a boner right now? Shut up, dude. Don't ruin this for me. What the hell are you? Jesus. Okay, stop. That's enough, dude. Does it hurt?
However, this may just be the fact that Mac is in a position of power during this scene, which again strokes his ego and need to be perceived as powerful. He reiterates the same idea when it's revealed that his father had gay sex during a threesome with Charlie's mom.
Oh my god, this is crazy. You guys know what this means? That my father was trying to establish dominance, and that's the only reason he was in his butt.
What are you talking? Why are you focused
Well,
on
it's
that?
about power.
We have our guy now.
I feel like we should make that known, that it's about power.
Let's not make any of it known.
The first concrete reference we get to Mac being gay is in the episode Mac Day. After tasking his friends with greasing the muscles of bodybuilders, the gang admits to themselves that Mac is gay and in the closet. This is further reinforced by the fact that Country Mac, who is just like regular Mac but better in every way, is openly gay. Now again, I personally find the idea that Mac is just so into his idealization of bodybuilding and gym culture that he doesn't realize how gay he's coming off as much funnier than just saying, haha, he's gay. It's funnier when the joke is about Mac's insecurity and his character, rather than just laughing about how in the closet he is. But this really is the point where they start to take the gay joke seriously, and Mac being in the closet comes to define the character. Over the next few seasons, the jokes around Mac tend to revolve around this idea, and again are a little too simple for my taste.
I've tasted mine, I didn't like it. I've tasted mine, yeah. I liked mine.
However, as the series went on, the creators definitely started to get more socially aware. I won't say they went full woke or anything, and I don't think they ruined the show by any means, but they definitely started to pay more attention to how they were writing gay and trans characters. We see this with how they address Mac's sexuality moving forward. The episode Hero or Hate Crime is a great example of this. In the episode, the gang discusses amongst themselves whether homophobic slurs should ever be used, and the episode kind of serves as a meta-commentary on how the show tackles making jokes about gay people. This is also the episode where Mac finally comes out of the closet. Now, this is a bit of a turning point for how they handle the gay issue moving forward. For one, in this episode, they delineate that Mac's degeneracy is a separate issue than him just being gay.
I've certainly learned something. This has nothing to do with being gay. This is just the work of a man who's an extreme sexual deviant. Gay or not.
Again, I think this goes a long way to making the joke more about his character than his sexuality. But also moving forward, they do start to take Mac's status as a gay man more seriously, and it isn't all just a joke. The episode Mac's Pride, for example, deals almost entirely with Mac trying to reconcile his feelings as a gay man with his relationship with his father. And in the end, it doesn't just reduce it down to a joke. In fact, by the end, Frank, a character who honestly admits to being uncomfortable with the fact that Mac is gay, comes away with a new understanding and tolerance. It shows that the writers are trying to take the issue more seriously, and it does work for the most part. However, I still feel that the whole idea of Mac's sexuality was a misstep from the writers, and stems from a misunderstanding about what Mac's character was from the beginning. Now, who the hell am I to say that I understand the characters of the show better than the writers, who actually created and play them? For all I know, this was absolutely the way they intended to write his character arc from the beginning. But I don't think so. Again, from where we see him in the early seasons being interested in women, it seems much more likely to me that Mac being gay was just a joke they threw into some episodes, and when they needed more material, they went for a simple laugh and made it a legitimate part of his character. Now again, remember, there's a difference between shows and real life. In reality, people can be unsure of their sexuality for most of their life. In real life, people can be on a spectrum rather than just set definitions of straight or gay. But It's Always Sunny is a television show, written by writers who change themselves over time and are capable of making mistakes. The point of this video is just to show that I think this particular choice might not have been the most natural, even if they didn't end up making it work eventually. I still love the show, and I hope we continue to get more great episodes in the future. Thanks for watching. I know this is a bit different than what I usually do, and to be honest, covering a topic like this makes me a little nervous. I really hope we can all be mature about this, and again realize that this is just a video about a show that I'm a fan of, and not get into a fight about larger social issues. Right? I'm a power bottom, by the way. Obscuracing Media, Daz J-Kid, Sam Cedarlund, Celery Man, Jenna Marie Johnson, Brad Smith Studios, Uncle Mike, Shane Boyce, and Matt Joyce.